Yo, it's your boy 1 Deep 215 back with another video. I wanted to get into my little sports realm. I know y'all sportsaholics miss me as far as bringing them sports videos out there. So it's been a minute, but we're gonna get back on that one. I don't know if y'all heard in the news yesterday. Over there at 97.5 the Fanatic, they making some changes, some mix-ups. We all know what happened with the Tyrone Johnson situation. He was let go by the Fanatic about a month. It's been about a month now. So far, I haven't heard anything as far as what Tyrone planned on doing. You know, when you do these television and radio shows or whatever, they have you sign something that's called a non-compete waiver or a contract or whatever, meaning if you're let go from one station, you can't go to another station or another entity within a matter of a certain time. So he's probably waiting for that. Like I said, I wish him nothing but the best. He do have talent. It just didn't work over at 97.5 in that with that particular show. Y'all all know how I feel about that. The show was god awful, but you know, best wishes to him. Now, as far as the news that broke yesterday, Bill Colarulo, he's Mike Missinelli's former now sidekick that was working on his show with him from 10 to 2 over there at 97.5. He's been bumped up into the 2 to 6 slot along with Ricky Batalico. So Connor Thomas, that was filling in on the interim level after they let Tyrone go, he'll be going back to whatever his part-time duties is. I think he was doing some morning work behind the scenes probably, or producing, whatever he was doing. He's going to go back to that. And the new show is going to be set to premiere this coming Monday, featuring Ricky Batalico and Bill Colorado. However you pronounce his name. So, I mean, how do I feel about it? It's a mix-up. I mean, it's something. It's something. They had to do something. I didn't know it was going to happen this soon. I didn't even think Bill was going to be the one that I thought he was set in stone with Mike, but they moved him up. Now, Bill's replacement is going to be Ray Dunn. He was the producer of the show, the current producer of Mike Missinelli's show. So he's going to be Mike's new sidekick. Ray Dunn, he has some talent, a little, you know. I think him and Mike, you know, you got the young and the old type of thing, kind of the thing that they doing in the morning show, you know, the young and old. So we'll see how it go. But getting to the topic at hand, as far as the whole Bill Colorado and the Ricky Batalico situation. So I don't know what type of chemistry they're going to have. The new show, by the way, is going to be called Unfiltered. That's the name of the show, Unfiltered. So we'll see how it go. Can him and Ricky mesh well? Maybe. I mean, like I said, it's something. They had to do something. Bill, he knows his sports. Has a good voice for the radio. Did some stuff with Jacob Media, Eagles post game with Mike Missinelli in the past. So, you know, he definitely bumped up in the sports radio ranks. So we'll see how he do. As far as the Ricky part, like I said, we'll see. I've been said that Ricky also should have been let go. Now, they wasn't going to let Ricky go unless it was something like dramatic happen or whatever, because they know they need a former athlete on the show, period. They have no other former athletes at the station. WIP has several. So they probably can only afford one, and that's Ricky. But if you ask me, Ricky should have been let go just like Tyrone. The whole show was awful. And Savannah, she should have left too. They should have just revamped the whole show, if you ask me. The show was god awful. They let Tyrone go. He was the head honcho. But I figured they wasn't going to let Ricky go just because of that whole former athlete stamp that he have. So we'll see how this go. Like I said, since Tyrone left, Ricky has been regular Ricky. The Ricky that we know from Philly's post-game live. He's grown a pair of balls, and he's been more, instead of being so mundane like he was with Tyrone, and so like, what's the word, agreeable, and just, it wasn't him. It wasn't Ricky. Ricky got that job because of the work that he did on Philly's pre and post game live. Make no bones about it. That's how he got on 97.5. It wasn't because he was so agreeable and he was so Tyrone, yes, and that whole all for one for all. They got rid of that. I think the executives and the head honchos over there, they seen that was off. Because if you think about it, what other show was like that where it was we think this, we think that? What other show on 97.5 or WIP have you ever heard where it was like, we all as a collective on this show think this way? It was no other show except for that Tyrone, that Best Sports, Jesus Christ, my words is getting jumbled. The Best Show Ever stuff. That was the only show in the history of shows that I ever heard where everybody agreed. And don't get me wrong, you don't want to disagree for the sake of agreeing. It's not undisputed. It's not First Take. That's a debate show, so I get it. But on every topic, there's no way that 3 people, or let alone 2 people, is going to agree on every topic. And that's what it was over there at the Best Show Ever. It just was. If y'all was loyal listeners, or even just random listeners, you knew whatever Tyrone went with, that's what the whole show, including Savannah, including Ricky, definitely Ricky, they all agreed. Like these sports polls, these Twitter polls, all that stuff, they always agreed, and it made for a horrible listen. And I'm pretty sure Tyrone see that now. And if he don't, something's wrong with him. But I know I see that Ricky agrees with that now, because all he does is disagree with Connor. Now, is it like the fact that Connor is a little younger, Connor is a little more laid back? I don't know if Tyrone intimidated Ricky. I don't know what it was, because I've never seen a show like that, and it was awful, and that's why they had to cut ties. They had it too long anyway. The show was 3 years running. Almost 3 years running. In August, it would have been 3 years that show was on the air. And I'm surprised it made it that long. So it's like, if y'all listen to 97.5 now, it's going to be a new show, but if y'all been listening to Ricky and Connor, Ricky is a totally different person. There's no way nobody else noticed that. There's no way nobody else noticed that Ricky all of a sudden stands up for himself. Ricky talks more. Now, I get why he talked more, because Tyrone was the head honcho, and Tyrone ran his mouth for the whole 4 hours for the most part, damn near. So that part, I see why that changed, because Connor is more reserved, and he kind of defers to Ricky. So I get that. But the fact that he just totally, not everything, but he actually has some pushback with Connor. He disagrees with Connor sometimes, a lot of times. He never disagreed with Tyrone. Only on stupid stuff that nobody cared about, like food or music and stuff. Sports topics, real sports topics, Ricky never disagreed with him. And it baffles me that people they act like they ain't noticed. Now, I made a video on it that we all know, and it was on that fact. And I did get a lot of comments on that video of people agreeing with me. But it still seemed like people ain't realized, like, people like Ricky, and I have nothing against Ricky. I actually liked him before he got on 97.5. I liked Ricky. I love him on Philly's pre and post game. But on the radio, the whole him and Tyrone stuff rubbed me the wrong way. I don't like fakeness. I don't like nobody that's fake. Ricky comes off as very fake on that Best Show Ever. It was fake. It was fake. He just agreed with Tyrone. Like I said, I don't know, and I don't want to put stuff out there in the air or nothing, but I don't know if he was scared of Tyrone or what. I don't, like, if that's what it's coming off as. And I don't mean scared as far as physically. I'm just saying, like, it was like he was scared to disagree because Tyrone going to yell at him or something. I don't know. Like, that, it was so cringeworthy and weird. And the fact that I know is true is because as soon as Tyrone left and Connor got in, Ricky became a normal human being again. It's not a coincidence. Now, if he was agreeing with Connor, I just be like, oh, maybe Ricky is a new Ricky now. Like, he just agreed with everybody now. That's the new Ricky. Like, maybe the higher ups told him, look, on this show at this station, we gotta agree. Even though I know they ain't say that crap, because that's horrible radio when two hosts just agree. Think of all the hosts and co-hosts in the past of sports radio. Did Anthony Gargano agree with everything Glenn McDowell said? No, they didn't. Did on current shows do Ike Reese and Spike Eskin agree all the time? No, they don't. They don't, and I don't think it's made up. Let's just disagree on this. It's not a debate show. It's not Undisputed. It's not First Take. I think they genuinely disagree on things. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know what got into Ricky and Tyrone. I ain't even gonna put it on Tyrone. Tyrone was standing on whatever he said. He just said what he said, and then he would ask Ricky, and Ricky would agree. And Savannah, I don't really count her. She's a nothing, but she would agree. Matter of fact, Savannah was disagreeing with Tyrone more than Ricky, and she barely know what she's talking about. So it was like, no disrespect, but facts is the facts. So it was like cringy. The show was cringy. And I listened because they did have a good format as far as mixing it up. The best part of that show was the fact that they mixed it up. That they would talk Phillies, Flyers, and Sixers sometimes. I didn't want to listen to WIP and hear Ike Reese talk about the Eagles all day. And Elliott Shore Parks as a guest every other day. I didn't want to hear that. So that's why I know so much about that awful show that was on 97.5. Because they did mix it up. But the actual format and the content of the show was lackluster. And you know, they had little sidebars that didn't make sense, like Word of the Day and 10-second song. That was awful. It was awful. So, not getting sidetracked. The new show going to be called Unfiltered. It's starting Monday. Bill Colarulo, I'm going to butcher his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about, and Ricky Bottalico. Now, I was thinking about this. I'm guessing Bill is going to be the hit. The show, I think Ricky is the star of the show. Like if they was to say Unfiltered with Ricky Bottalico and Bill Colarulo, I think that's how they gonna do the show. Ricky's name gonna be first in it, but I think Bill's gonna be the moderator of the show, like the head. I don't see Ricky doing it. It's just not. It don't come off as natural. So it's gonna have to be Bill. Now Bill, it ain't gonna come off all that natural with him either. You know, I think he's going to have to grow into it, but it's going to be more natural with him doing it than Ricky. I don't see Ricky leading the show. I mean, if they wanted to work right, they would have Bill, you know, but Ricky would be the star of that show. He would be like the guy of that show. Just being honest, even though I don't like him on the radio, being honest, he would have to be the star because that's how the format will work. Same thing with the whole Ike Reese thing. He's like the star of that show. Then it's Spike Eskin. But Spike carries the show. That's how I think they're going to do with Bill and Ricky. So we'll see. I'll give it a chance. Do I think it's going to be groundbreaking? Hell no. But do it got a chance to be good? Yes. It got a chance to be good. It's definitely, more than likely, definitely going to be better than the last show. The best show ever. It's going to be better than that show. I can see that now. Because Ricky has finally grew a pair. What's his name? Bill, he's no, like, pushover. It seemed like Connor's kind of a pushover a little bit. So I'm sure they can. Not saying I'm looking for no type of debate, but I'm looking for good radio. That's all. I'm looking for different points of views. I don't want to hear one all for one and one for all when it's like three of y'all. Shouldn't y'all all have your own personality and own stance? Whoever created the show, best show ever, and the program directors and the higher ups let that mess hit the airwaves, that's malpractice. That's radio malpractice. That's how bad it is. And I know people gonna be like, you overreacting with the whole. There's no way y'all listened to that show for 4 hours and said this is a good show. And we can't get on the fact that Tyrone was a black guy. We got to get off of that because that was the reason why I was invested, because he was a black guy. He was the only black guy on the radio in the primetime slot. But that don't mean I can't critique him because he black and he the only black like in a dominantly white industry, because it is. Sports radio is dominated by Caucasian. Make no gripes about it. It is what it is, but it's true. We all know it. But that don't mean I'm gonna give Tyrone a pass just because he was awful at his job, and he would say that about anybody else that was awful at their job. He don't pull no punches, and I like that about Tyrone. I actually like the fact that he's real and don't pull no punches. But when it's time for him to not get no punches on him, people boo-hoo and be like, "Oh, you laying it on thick." I got all types of comments about this Tyrone Johnson situation. The man gonna be all right. He's probably gonna end up on WIP in some type of late shift or sidebar type of bull, and he'll move back up in the ranks because he has talent. Tyrone Johnson has talent, and he knows sports, so he's going to do wonders and get more opportunities. But people lose their job in the sports radio industry all the time. I don't feel like he okay. He 44 years old, 45 years old, however old he is. He got time he gonna be all right, so I don't know. The main thing I wanted to speak on is this new show, Unfiltered. We're going to see how it goes. For all my sports radio heads, I'm sure y'all have interest in this video. Let me know what y'all think of the new format at 97.5, because they have to do something. I mean, they'll never really compete with WIP at this point, but they got to stay afloat because it's not looking good. Like, for the whole station. Like, the Mike Missinelli show is probably the best show on the station, and that's not even doing all that good. People don't listen, people haven't been listening to Sports Talk Radio, period, has been going down. But WIP is getting crazy ratings. So it could be done. It could be done, people still tune in, and they listen on their phones, and they stream and all that type of stuff. 97.5 is a low-budget station, but they should be able to, they on TV, the afternoon show, I don't understand why. I understand why, but it's they got to do something. They need to do something with the format or something, because that station is sinking. That station, as a Beasley, that station is sinking. It's clear. It's clear and obvious that they don't have it like that. They don't got nothing going on. It's very watered down. It's very low budget. It comes off as very low budget. And when Mike retired, which is going to be real soon, or whatever, then what? I don't know. But let me know what y'all think about this topic, if y'all in the whole sports radio realm, and hit me with a comment. Y'all think I'm laying it on too thick with the whole 97.5, the Tyrone situation, however y'all feel, let me know. But I listen to that show a lot, and I don't think I'm off base with any of this. You got to be real sometimes. You can't coddle people that ain't coddle worthy, or even if they is coddle worthy. Tyrone ain't no saint. Tyrone not no saint. He talk a lot of stuff. So I don't understand with the whole boo-hoo stuff for Tyrone. I don't understand. The man is very brash, and he's very matter of fact, and he is who he is, and I like that part. I like that he's firm and stand on what he stand on. I'm not saying because he's that way, but I'm saying when somebody get with him, it's man, come on, he a brother. Who gives a fuck? The fact that he a brother makes it worse, because it's he should have held the torch. He should have did a better job. He should have did a better job to give these, like I said, these younger guys, younger black men hope. Not me, younger. I'm Tyrone's generation. I'm talking about these young 19, 20-year-olds that might want to get into that business. He was horrible. He fumbled the bag. It's clear and obvious he fumbled the bag because he wanted to, I don't know why. I don't know why he made that show like that. Not saying he made the show, but he was the host. He could have did something to make the show better, and he didn't. So let me know how y'all feel. I ain't gonna get into it. Y'all know how I am about my sports. I'm very, very, very much into my sports and sports radio as well. So if I come off as, damn, it's because it means a lot to me. But let me know what y'all think. Till next time, got more videos coming y'all way. Holla at y'all.